Alright YouTube, it's your favorite chef, Chef G, back in the kitchen again. Today we're going to do some smothered pork chops. So, once you get in here, go and hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel as well. But I have 10, about a half an inch thick cut pork chops. I'm going to season them, I'm going to bread them, then we're going to fry them, and then we're going to make a homemade gravy to smother them in. Okay? The first thing I'm going to do is get my gloves on because I've already washed my pork chops, and then I'm going to season my pork chops. I'm going to use some garlic powder. We're going to throw some twang spice in there. I'm almost out, y'all, if y'all can see on the side. It's about gone. I only had it for a couple of weeks. We're going to do some onion powder, black pepper. I'm going to throw a little salt in there. We're just going to use some all-purpose flour and some cornstarch in with our flour. Okay, the cornstarch is going to help get a nice crispy crust on our pork chops, so they're, have a nice crisp bite to it. So when you smother them, you have a nice crust that's going to make a nice gravy and hold up to the gravy. Okay, so let me get my gloves on, and then we'll get to seasoning our pork chops. All right, there's one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Last night, honey, it was raining like crazy, like cats and dogs, I guess you could say. But our power went out. It was probably out for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But the past few days it's been raining a lot, but it's nice out today. Hopefully you guys can get out there. Today is Friday. I believe it's May the 22nd. So go out and enjoy the weather. Sit on your porch. Sit in the yard. If you have a swing in the backyard, go out there and sit on that. Just enjoy this nice weather since we've had so much rain. Okay, so let's take you guys down to our pork chops. Okay. So we have our pork chops in our bowl. Like I said, they're about a half an inch thick. Nice center cut pork chops, which I like. We're going to season each pork chop. So we're going to do a lot of seasoning in here, but then we're going to toss it so that it seasons all of the pork. So that was my garlic powder. We're going in with some onion powder. Okay, I know it looks like a lot, but it's 10 pork chops in here, so we're going to go into our twang spice seasoning. Go in with some black pepper. And a little salt. Okay. So what we're going to do is going to give this a nice little toss so we can get all of our pork chops. Let me get this. It's a little bit of liquid in here. I'm going to drain out. Okay, that way our seasoning don't wash away. So I had to drain that little bit of liquid out. So like I said in all my other videos, you want to make sure you can see your seasoning on your product. Okay? So we're going to add a little bit more of each thing. Just to make sure we get a nice seasoned pork chop. Okay. I didn't add any more extra salt to this because I'm going to put a little bit of salt in my breading that I'm going to use, or my flour that I'm using. So I'm not going to add any more salt to this. That way I don't have too much salt. Okay. We're going to make sure we got plenty of seasoning for all of our pork chops. Okay. Excuse me, guys. That pepper got me sneezing. Okay. Making sure our pork chops are nice and seasoned. Two more pork chops that need some seasoning on it, y'all. So we're going to get them right. Okay, like I said, hopefully everybody's having a great day. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Monday is Memorial Day. I know in North Carolina they've lifted the stay-at-home order a little bit more. So there are things opening up. Restaurants and parks and things are able to open 50% capacity, so we'll see how it goes, guys. So pork chops are seasoned. All right, I'm going to take this glove off, and then we're going to come back and do our breading or our flour mix, and then we're going to get breading this and frying this up. We'll be right back. All right, so I have my bowl here for my flour and cornstarch mixture. So I'm going to do about equal parts of flour to cornstarch. I'm going to start off with 1 cup, about 1 cup of each. So I'm not really measuring this. I'm just, you know, kind of eyeing it. And I'm using a Argo cornstarch. And like I say, this is going to give your pork chops a nice crisp that you're looking for. And it's also going to aid as a thickening agent in our gravy. So we're going to do like a 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay. And get that mixed around in there. Nice. And mix. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bread our pork chops and put them in our pan to fry. So I'm going to take you over to the stove. Alright guys, I got my oil ready. We're going to test to see if it's hot by dropping a little bit of flour into it. Okay, it didn't sizzle, so this means it's not ready. But what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm going to bread up some of my pork chops. Alright, so I have my flour here. And throw in a pork chop. Bring you guys up just a little bit. I'm going to throw in a pork chop, and I'm just using a fork to kind of pick it up, toss it around. You're going to make sure you bread it nicely, and that there's flour all over it, okay? I did not use any liquid like a milk or buttermilk or anything. I want this to be kind of dry. I don't want too much crust on the pork chops. I want the pork chops to shine through, okay? So I'm going to continue doing that. Breading my pork chops while my oil is continuing to get hot, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, my oil is nice and hot. I'm going to show you how it looks when it's hot. Put a little flour in there, see how it sizzled? That means it's ready, okay? So I have my pork chops breaded. I'm probably going to fit about 3 of these in here at a time. You want to make sure you shake off the excess flour, okay? That way it doesn't burn your grease too fast. Okay, place it down in there. Just like that. So I'm only going to be able to do 2. I'm going to cook it. And I probably have about 2.5, maybe 3 cups of oil in my pan. You judge it according to the size of the pan that you're going to be using at your house. I'm going to cook it about 2 to 3 minutes on one side, flip it over, cook it about 3 minutes on the other side, because these are fairly thin, and they'll finish cooking in our gravy, okay? We'll be right back.